I wasn't supposed to go live on Spreaker yet. I'm just making sure I'm going live. So y'all should be on hold on Spreaker, but I messed up. I wanted to make sure that everything was working on the screen the way it's supposed to. Real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey. That's right. So we're gonna send out. No, you don't. He said he come home with homework every day. Real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey. Cause she violent. Dang, you got a real job now. Folktale for grown folks. Alright, family, I'm sorry. We starting the show. I'm sending out text messages and making sure everything is up. Folktale for grown folks. Join us. Listen in at call in lines open. Oh, them girls probably ate that up. Check 1 2, 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 check 1 2. Good. So I got me a pause screen. There we go. Alright, family, I am experimenting with a new screen, and I'm trying to make sure that everything is up before I go up. Edit post.
Peace, this is Brother Tim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenyame.com. All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God, stand up in the congregation of the mighty. You judge the most of God. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, the king of foreign and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They go hard and broke. Cause the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, in your God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Rise, O God, judge the earth. Thou shalt inherit all nations. Allah is Akbar.
This is Kabara 6, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Adam Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
This is Adam Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy. This is Monica with Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
This is Willie. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I want to give a shout out to Silver Kevin, all my Silver Nation out there. I want to give a shout out to my mom. I give a shout out to my dad for raising me and my family for being around me. And I want to give a shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
This is Cleveland, and you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Peace, Hotep. It's Mansour Hotep, aka Mr. Deity. Mr. Deity, does it sound good? I think it sounds great. Right now, you listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to the Gye-Nyame tribe, Gye-Nyame family. Stand up.
Hey, please. Don't worry about it. I got it. Thank you, sir. Don't worry about it, sir.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim,
I can figure it out. I can go update my computer.
this is Brother Hatem coming at you
You hear me?
live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Update my computer rather than
Shout out to Vegas and Charlotte. Stand up. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Peace. This is Gina. You are now
You listen to my daddy.
on Gye-Nyame
Gye-Nyame Journey
Radio. Peace.
You heard the man. We have had enough. And family, this is Gye-Nyame Journey. I want to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Anime is on point. Thank you, girl. She pulled it from the belly. That's what I'm talking about. This is the Heart of a Simple production. Of course, you know you are now listening to Folktale for grown folks, and we're about to get into this folktale. And this is the Heart of a Simple production, where we strive to bring or to break and to bust up your old paradigms. Family. It is good to be with you in this place. In this place right now. I am excited because, you know, with the new media and stuff like that, with the new technology and the new stuff that I'm learning, I'm excited to be here with y'all right now to share with y'all Gye-Nyame Journey. So, y'all checking out some of the images that I have for Gye-Nyame Journey Media. And as a matter of fact, on now, G&J Media, right? G&J Media. GNJmedia.live. Now, I am going to throw up let me say, how can I put it? I'm going to throw up a piece where I want to ask a question. Which one of these do you like? We got Gye-Nyame Journey Media on the top. For me, it's on the top left-hand side, but I don't know what it is for you. I'm still waiting for it to come through on Facebook. Facebook is working for us right now. We know we are up live on YouTube. I want to know what it is for you, which one you like. We got Gye-Nyame Journey Media with the phoenix on top. That's a phoenix. You look like a bird, but that's actually a phoenix because the symbol for Gye-Nyame Journey is the phoenix. Then on the right-hand side on the top, we have just the Gye-Nyame symbol. One of our Gye-Nyame symbols, Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Then at the bottom left-hand corner for me, you have a lion with the phoenix around it. Do you like that one? Or do you like the Gye-Nyame Journey on the bottom right-hand side for me, and it's just the phoenix? Which one of those do you like the most? Go let us know so we go develop us a t-shirt so that you will be able to go on and let us know so we can make sure we get you what you need. Put what you need in the store, because we want to make sure that what you get in the store is what you want. You understand what I'm saying? We're trying to, because like I said, one of the things that Gye-Nyame is trying to make sure that we are able to provide for those that listen to us what they need. All right, let's see who is here. Is anybody here yet? No, nobody is here yet. Now, ain't that something? That's cool. But we're going to go on and we're going to have us intelligent conversation. We'll have us a talk. We're going to talk about folktale for grown folks. And because one of the issues I had with naming the show was that a lot of folks think, hey, folktales is for kids, right? Folktales are for kids, but folktales were not developed for kids. Folktales was developed for the whole community. So kids will get one thing, and then adults will get something else. We're going to have that discussion. We also have some stuff in the news that I want to make sure that we are able to share with you, and we're going to switch over, and we're going to go and we're going to check out our news feed so that you will be able to keep up with us on Gye-Nyame Journey. So in the news feed, there's some interesting stuff that I want y'all to look at, and we could talk about some of this early in the morning on the Daily Toast for those that are able to get up. I know some of y'all not, because, you know, the toaster piece, you know what I'm saying, that's for the special forces of Gye-Nyame, right? That's for those individuals that are able to discipline themselves and be like, look, I'm going to commit myself every day to it. But these evening shows, this is for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Come on in and check out what we got. But there was a great conversation on Black History Panel Part 3. I didn't see Part 1 and Part 2. I'm going to try to check that out. But it's on our timeline. Go and check it out, because what we want to do is we want to expose you to different news outlets that specifically, in a sense, serve us, right? Ladies, hold on. Let me go back to my screen. Let me get back to my screen so that y'all know that it's real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey. Real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey. Now, I'm off camera, but I'm on radio. It is time for bed. You could go and plug that up before it get bad around here. Back to the news feed. I'm back, family. I'm back. Sasha tripping, but hey, it is what it is. Alright. Also, family, there is a debate well, because I ain't get a chance to see this one yet. Let me say go to bed again. Let me go back to it's real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. So, Cornel West is on Democracy Now! And he got 4 other people on here, and it's all about Bloomberg. I didn't have to even listen to it because we already know that Cornel West is going to bust some ass on this. So I'm going to listen to it a little bit later, but I'm throwing it up to Gye-Nyame Journey because I already know when you see Cornel West on there, Cornel West is always going to speak truth to power. So shouts out to Elder Cornel West. Go and check that out. You know what I'm saying? Throw some comments up there so that the Elder know that he's supported by people in Gye-Nyame Journey, right? Here we go. Slave auction block. Vigil honors enslaved ancestors as Liberation and Freedom Day celebration began. Family. Now y'all know, some people only celebrate their ancestors once a year. We at Gye-Nyame laugh at that shit. You know why? Because we celebrate the ancestors every day of the year. Every day. Wait a minute. Where is the round of applause for that? We celebrate our ancestors every day of the year. Come on. Y'all getting double applause. You know what I'm saying? We celebrate our ancestors every day of the year. So while some people are only receiving the benefits of doing it once a year, those of you that are with us and that are special forces on Gye-Nyame in the Gye-Nyame tribe, we receive benefits every day. You know why? Because every day we are feeding our ancestors with our attention, right? Attention is a currency, family. It's a currency. It's an economic system within itself. And every day we pay attention to our ancestors. Every day here at Gye-Nyame Journey. You know what I'm saying? So now, moving deeper into the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline, we got Bloomberg, Klobuchar, and Buttigieg behave themselves. Bloomberg spoke to Klobuchar and Buttigieg, and you know, say y'all being some good white people, because y'all listening to the Democratic Party. Because right now, what we see is the Democratic Party is aligning to go on a full course assault on your boy Bloomberg. Not that I'm for Bloomberg. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting y'all know. See, because the whole piece is now everybody else is dropping out and aligning behind Biden, because the major push that they're telling us is that the most important thing is get rid of Trump. We could deal with your black issues later. Just get rid of Trump. Trump is the devil. Shit, they ain't living my life. Listen to me. They ain't living our life. Right? They're like, Trump is the devil. Just get rid of Trump and everything gonna be alright. Family, let me let y'all know. Lines are open, 614-556-4535. Once again, lines are open. Let me post that up so that y'all get it. Call in lines 614-556-4535 so that you can go on and keep up with the journey. Now, also, because we are about to go into our folktale, and hopefully we get people to call in so that we can discuss the folktale. And I need to make sure that we got people on the line, because I want to make sure we ain't dropped the line, because we've been dropping lines, you know, when you're doing something like I'm doing, and all you got malfunctions going on with the services that you pay for, right? I'm up here paying for this, and I always got to go on and double check to make sure that all of it's working, right? I have to double check if my taxes is right, or if I owe something and they're gonna take my state taxes. I don't have to double check for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But for the shit that I'm paying for, I got to double check to make sure it's working. So I had to go to Spreaker real quick to make sure that it was doing what it was supposed to do. Hopefully Spreaker's doing what it's supposed to do, and Facebook and all the other shit I'm on is doing what it's supposed to do. But have you ever had a question about that? The stuff that you need, right? The stuff that you directly pay for. Why is it that you always got to double check that? But when it comes to your bills, you ain't got to double check that on most occasions. They're pretty accurate when they coming for your money. But when you're paying your money, the accuracy rate falls off. Bothers me. It burns my soul. Right? So family, we're about to get into the folktale. And the folktale of the evening. Now, for those of you that are with Gye-Nyame Journey and you have been following Gye-Nyame Journey and you want to go on and say, how can I help Gye-Nyame Journey as well as help myself? I'm going to tell you how to do that real quick. Now, if you go to gnjmedia.live, you go on and you get our little diary, and you can use the diary. You got this style. Or you also have I should have had it ready, but I didn't have it ready. Yeah. Welcome to the journey. It's real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey. You go to gnjmedia.live, go to merchandise. You can get the Gye-Nyame Journey this way, the journal this way, or you get it this way if you like the little ring things. And I had somebody that enjoyed the ring thing, but I personally like this one, this notebook right here. I'm going to be giving that away, so that's why I ain't got it unwrapped, and I got this one. I'm going to give this away, and I don't have it wrapped. And we will be having contests and stuff. So, make sure that you register at Gye-Nyame Journey Media. And the way that you stay in touch with us so that we can make sure that you are getting the information from Gye-Nyame Journey, the way that you stay in touch with us, you go and text. And I'm going to type this in so that y'all can follow along. Text the letters G and J. Let me go and write it out. Text G and J to, well, I better put that in parentheses. Parentheses, the letters G and J to the number 25456. Just that easy. You on our list for everything. If you wanted to be a daily toaster, just type it up in there. Brother, I tell them to be a daily toaster. And I'll go and send you the information on how to be that, because that's the special forces. You know what I'm saying? These are individuals that's really serious about the movement, because for those of us that are serious about moving to the next level, we have to start putting certain practices in our lives so that we can go on and make sure that we are able to fulfill what it is that we need. All right. So, family, what I'm going to do, I don't know why is it still circling like that. So right now we are going to the Folktale of the day. This is one of my favorite sites, so that y'all can see it. Nice, right? So now we have several different versions of the folktale that I put up. So in your diary, if you are following along with Gye-Nyame Journey, you'd be like, man, I want to get some of that. And I want to check out some of that spiritual development and all the shit that they talk about on Gye-Nyame Journey. And yes, we cuss here at Gye-Nyame Journey. Yes, we do. This is why I say put the children to bed. You know what I'm saying? If you're sensitive, get away. Right? Because, we got to have real talk. There's folk tales for grown folks. Now, if you want your children to listen, please know, right, that Brother Hatim or somebody that come on the air with Brother Hatim is liable to let a couple of those cuss word bombs fall off. And because my computer moving so slow right now, and I just figured out that rather than buying a new computer, I can go and upgrade this one. I think I'm going to do that. So with the diary that you have with Gye-Nyame Journey that you can order off our site, gnjmedia.live, right? You go and you keep up with us. So the folktale of this week, actually it was 3 weeks ago. I was supposed to do it a while ago, but I'm getting old. And I tried to get and do the show early, but I wanted to make sure I had the screens because I never know when my kid's going to act up. So I had to put up the Gye-Nyame Journey screen, right, where I can go and check them if I need to. Or I got this new screen right here. I love this one right here, right? Real life at Gye-Nyame Journey. I know y'all can't hear me, but it is what it is. But we got this one too, right? And we also got the news feed. Going back to the news feed. Let's go. All right, there we go. Now, let's talk about the folktale of the night, Hercules and the Wagoner. I'm gonna make it quick. If we don't get no call-ins, you know what I'm saying? Don't need to be no discussion. Of course, you see all the advertisements that I got on this site, so don't worry about it. More than likely, if you in Columbus, Google feed is not there, or Fi or whatever they want to say. But Hercules and the Wagoner, and the version that I'm using, because the reason I like this site is because when you look at the proverbs, the folktales, not only do they give you a short, quick version of it, right? As you see at the top, you don't have to do a lot of reading. You'd be like, boom, okay, this is what Brother Hatim going to be talking about tonight. We got several different versions. We got the Jacob's version, We got Aesop for children. So if you do have children around and you want to read a longer story to them, you can. Then it has the moral. Then you got the Jeffrey Taylors. The clown praying to Hercules. And it's a little bit longer. But then the version that we use from the book that we pull out. And for those that want to get this book. My damn book. We are pulling from the Townsend translation. And as you see, the Townsend translation is there. We also have the Samuel Croxall. We got the application, which we're going to look at. We got the JBR collection on this one as well. We got the Crane. We got the poetry version. So this is a very popular one. And then they also in here, if you speak Latin, they also have the Latin version. I don't speak Latin. Restucci aritrum harit in profundo loto. Right? I don't read all that. But we're going to go back to the Townsend version because it's the version that I read from. But we're going to look at the lesson in it. And we're going to discuss this. Now, I know a lot of you grown folks out there like, man, why are we talking about folk tales, Brother Hatim? This is for the new people. And you have never joined us on the journey. And you don't understand. You're like, man, Brother Hatim, why are you stuck on these folk tales? Damn, I hung up on myself. I'm cold-blooded. But listen, the reason I'm stuck on the folk tales is this reason right here. And let me be very clear with you. I believe that our ancestors have left us everything that we need to know in order to get up out the system. Except they were not in the place and time that we are in now. So they couldn't necessarily use all of the information or be as effective with the information as we have the ability to be today. Family, I am saying that our ancestors have left us the roadmap in order to make it through this madness that we are in. And all we have to do is be wise enough, brave enough, bold enough, and straightforward enough to use this wisdom to move to the next level of life. Do y'all hear me? So our ancestors left it in the form of proverbs, in the form of folk tales, in the form of legends, in the form of myths. And many of us, because we have become so indoctrinated in the system that we can't read past the story aspect of it. We can't read deeper into the story and realize that Brer Rabbit is talking about you, and realize that these animals that they use in the folk tales may be talking about you. And I'm saying, family, I want you to grasp that inner child in you and use that inner child energy that's in you and just cap it off with a little bit of your wisdom within life. And start learning to decipher the wisdom or the crystallized wisdom that our ancestors left us, so that we can go and lift ourselves up as a group up out of the situation that we are in. Because family, I need y'all to understand. Those who have been listening to me for a while, right? We've been talking about reparations for maybe the last year and a half, 2 years. The whole idea of reparations. And we are moving towards the 2020 election, and reparations flashed up on the screen. We heard reparations discussed in debates, and we heard how quickly they have dodged the concept. Now the challenge for us as ADOS, for those of us that have been born and bred right here in America, and we go 3, 4, 5 generations deep, we have to be able to now carry the struggle beyond and show the endurance that our ancestors showed in their lives. Yes, Ashamaj.
Some of our ancestors were wealthy.
She said some of our ancestors were wealthy. Yes, they were.
And that's not fair that Clem is still up on electronics.
And, okay. My daughter, Hold on. Real life at Gye-Nyame Journey. I gotta go to the real life screen. It's real life at Gye-Nyame Journey. Let's
Yeah,
see.
it's real life.
You're not on. Now, I'm on my show, baby. I love you. But it's time for bed. You were supposed to be in bed 34 minutes ago.
34?
Come on. I'm not playing with you. Gina, to bed.
Okay, yes, sir. Ouch.
So I got the real... hold on. I got the real life Gye-Nyame screen up here so that when I'm yelling at my kids on YouTube and Facebook, y'all don't hear that. If you want the full Gye-Nyame experience, you have to go to our Spreaker station, right? Spreaker, right? The podcast. Because this is ridiculous. My girls didn't, you know what I'm saying? They didn't want to start talking until I put the show on. But anyway, finally we got to use the wisdom of our ancestors to move to the next level. All right. Hercules and a Wagoner. You can read it up on your screen. You see it on your screen. Those that's out there, you can read it up on your screen and we can talk about it. I go back when somebody call in. I will go back and I will put us back up on the screen. All right. A carter, that's somebody who drives a cart, was driving a wagon along a country lane when the wheels sank down deep into a rut. The rustic driver, stupefied and aghast, stood looking at the wagon and did nothing but utter loud cries to Hercules to come and help him. Hercules, it is said, appeared and thus addressed him. Put your shoulder to the wheel, my man. Go on your bullocks and never more pray to me for help until you have done your best to help yourself, or depend upon it, you will henceforth pray in vain. The moral of the story is self-help is the best help. And I know a lot of y'all like, Brother Hatim, how can you read this proverb? How can you read this folktale and turn around and then talk about reparations? Because it says self-help is the best help. How can you talk about half the stuff you talk about, but it says self-help is the best help? Family, listen. In our pursuit of what we want, freedom, justice, and in some cases equality in this country, we have to be willing to make the sacrifice to get it, right? Part of the sacrifice is not only getting off the wagon, see, because to get off the wagon, you got to own the wagon, right? See, because this is not a story about a wagoner or a carter who was carting somebody else's, using somebody else's cart to do his work. He was using his own cart. He was using his own bullocks, right? You know, because like I said, Aesop is very direct with his folktales. This is somebody who's working for themselves. This is somebody whose cart got stuck in the mud. This is somebody who owned their own cart that got stuck in the mud, right? And rather than getting off and directly doing the work to get it unstuck, instead of snapping the whip on his own bullocks to pull extra and for him to put his shoulder to push the cart up out the mud, right? This dude started praying for assistance. He didn't pray for assistance on his boss's cart or his slave master's cart. He prayed for assistance on his own cart. Family, let me say this. Part of our task is to get our cart. Our cart has been taken. Our cart has been stolen. Our cart has been seized. So part of getting the help that we need from our ancestors come from us demanding what is owed. And then once we get what is owed, using what is owed, and putting our shoulder to what we receive, or what we get, or what we take, and push it to the next level. When we start pushing it, our ancestors will step in to aid us, right? But part of this whole, because for me, for this whole folktale piece, right? This whole issue of Hercules, right? And homeboy asking Hercules, this dude or this female, whoever had the cart, was asking Hercules to help him move what he had, what he owned, what belonged to him to the next level. Pushing it out of the mud. But in order for us to even get to where this Wagoner was, this carter was, we have to be bold enough to demand what belongs to us. Period. It's very simple. It's very simple. Right? So, self-help is the best help. And part of self-help is not just getting up where you are and doing what you can, but also recognize what has been removed from you and going out to get it. I want you to understand, family, because everybody else practices this. See, self-help is not just about you starting from where you are. Self-help is about getting what belongs to you and moving forward with it. Right? Because a lot of people want you to feel guilty because you are demanding what belongs to you. They want you to feel bad because you're demanding what belongs to you. But that is a pimp whole mentality. You know what I'm saying? Many of the people that surround us have a whole mentality because a whole feels guilty about wanting to keep the rewards of her work or his work. Family, there was a story that I heard a while ago where a guy came up upon this guy in a European town or place, and he said he heard the guy speaking of pride about how he inherited this land. He said, "Oh, that's interesting." He said, so please, go on. I missed the beginning. Tell me how you got the land. Well, I inherited it from my grandfather. You know, my people basically, controlled this land. And I'm just trying to wonder how you got it. Well, I inherited it from my father. He said, well, how did your father get it? Well, my father inherited it from his father. And he said, well, okay, cool. How did your grandfather get it? My grandfather inherited it from my great-great-grandfather. He said, cool, okay, that's good. That's a powerful testament. He said, so how did your great-grandfather get it? He said, my great-grandfather fought for it. He said, oh. He said, how about I fight you for it right now? Family, everything in this world, when we look at all the wars that went on, not only did people have to fight to get it, they have to fight to keep it. And many of us have become so, quote unquote, civilized, and it's not really even civilized, it's domesticated. We have become domesticated to a point where we honestly have surrendered the idea that we ever had anything. A dog, a domesticated dog, is different from a wolf. A wolf understands that all this could belong to me. A domesticated dog is like, all this belongs to my master, and I have to go and help my master protect it, regardless of how my master treats me. And the question that many of us have to ask, am I domestic? Because many of our actions are very domesticated. Many of us act like domesticated beasts. We don't realize that in order for West Asians to control North America, they had to take that shit and they had to maintain it. And you can't come back up in here and take their shit, even though they took it from your people, even though their great grandfathers fought for it. Right? The only reason they instill laws is to make sure that their children kept what they had. Please understand that the laws are created to protect those that create the laws. It's not designed to protect all. So we have to understand, we have to go on and demand what is ours, and we have to be willing to take it, because that's the only way that people will ever respect you. There's very few of us that have had bullying experiences, and I could talk from this real talk here. Is very few people that I've ever ran into who have been able to talk their bullies, their personal bullies in their life, out of their behavior. Bully wants a sandwich? He gonna take your sandwich. Bully like your shoes? Gonna take your shoes. Bully like your coat? He gonna take your coat. But as soon as the bully find out that you are not gonna give up your shoes without a fight, that you not gonna give up your sandwich without your fight, that bully has some serious thinking to do. Is it worth possibly putting everything on the line to go and try to take this dude's sandwich? Or can I go take a sandwich from somebody else that'll just give it to me because of my reputation? Family, we have been born in the belly of the beast. It's very few things that can happen to us over here, and in this part of our generational warfare, that hasn't happened. Very few, right? So even when it comes to politics, we got to be willing to fight, and we got to be willing to put the line in the sand and be like, yo, enough is enough. That's do for self. Do for self ain't just us setting up businesses in our community. Do for self is about us being able to do for self politically. Making shit happen. Taking over positions of power in our areas. And once we start doing that, then, as the Carter, as Hercules told him, don't ask for me to help you until you are willing to help for yourself. And then I want y'all to pay particular attention to this. Put your shoulder to the wheels, my man. Gold on your bullocks. Get your bullocks. Get everything in your life moving in the direction that you want to go. And never more pray to me for help until you have done your best to help yourself. And the question that we have to always ask ourselves, am I doing my best to help myself? Am I doing my best? Right? Or am I settling for what people tell me I deserve? Or am I determining that myself? Who determined that North America belonged to the people that have North America now? Was it a God-given thing, or did they decide themselves? Who determined that Britain would be able to conquer and rule India for the amount of time they did? Was it India, or was it God, or was it the British themselves? Who is going to decide whether or not we get reparations? Is it others or is it ourselves? This is why I keep on posting up in all of my timelines, stubborn minority. Because oftentimes, when you find that you can't push somebody and you can't intimidate them, you find that it's easier to acquiesce to what they want rather than go through the struggle of trying to force your thing on them. Most bullies, let me say this, most bullies don't want to fight, they just want to win. What do that mean, Brother Hatim? I just want to win. I don't necessarily want to fight. I don't want no struggle. I don't want to have to sweat. I don't want to have to put my reputation on the line. I just want your sandwich. Well, if you want my sandwich, you got to put your rep on the line. You want my sandwich, you're going to have to work. You want my sandwich, you're going to have to take the chance of getting hit back. Put your shoulder to the wheel. And then when we call on our ancestors and in the midst of the struggle, in the midst of us doing what we need to do, they will come to us like a whirlwind. But because many of us are so goddamn scared and so goddamn brainwashed, we settle. We settle. We claim Hannibal. And did Hannibal settle? Kind of, but, but for most people, then, no. Right? Those that study, yeah, he kind of settled, but no. For those that didn't study. You know what I'm saying? Did Harriet Tubman, did she settle? No. Well, we kind of free, kind of comfortable on plantation. When we start settling, you see what I'm saying? And actually settling for less. You know what I'm saying? We settle more now than we did damn near in slavery. Actually, it's starting to look a lot alike because motherfuckers telling, well, if we don't vote, everybody gonna blame us. If we don't vote, they're gonna put federal judges in place and they're gonna put us back another 75 years. Come on, fam. Stop being punked out by some bullshit. Because I want you to understand those same federal judges is not just going to affect black life, they're going to affect all life in America. Right? They're going to start telling people what they can do, you think that's just going to affect you? No. Many people some people say black folks are the conscience of America. And in many ways that's true. Right? But then we still gotta, if we gonna look at America and America got a conscience, we gotta look at the body of America and what the body of America want to do. And that shit is not slipping towards conservatism. That is a minority, a stubborn minority. So don't just think that they put these judges in, they just gonna be offending black folks and taking black rights. Oh no, they're going to be taking a lot of the freedoms that a lot of these people like out here right now. Oh, they're going to start feeling like us. They ain't going to do nothing but build us up allies. And you know what? And another piece that people don't tell you about this whole judgeship, right? The judgeship, the federal judgeship, they could be impeached too. Nobody want to talk about that, right? They just want you to be scared and run out and feel that you have to give your vote away to the lesser of two evils. That's bullshit. But I guess the lines are dead. Nobody want to talk to Brother Hatim. I feel y'all, This is dangerous talk, possibly. I don't know. Maybe I ain't streaming. Maybe my sound ain't up. I don't know. Right? But yo, family, go and leave your comments. Now, I want to make sure that you know that you can support us because, family, we are moving and we are working on doing this Malcolm X Festival. And I want to invite you by all means. To help us with this Malcolm X Festival. And one of the best ways that you can help us with the Malcolm X Festival is by going to this link and going and pledging your support. Now, when you pledge, not only, because this is a Gye-Nyame journey, one of the things I want to get out of is I don't want to get into the mode of just asking you for a donation. What I want to do is I want to offer you something in return. And one of the things we're working on Gye-Nyame Journey is getting our digital content up. So when you donate to us, we give you $50 worth of digital content, stuff you could do stuff with, stuff you can learn. You know what I'm saying? Things you can use to go on and start fortifying your mind, right? Because right now, like in the battle, right, we're winning small amounts of territory, and now what we have to do is once you establish yourself in a little territory, you got to start fortifying it. So we got to put the information out there and the resources out there so that you can start fortifying your mind, so that we can start holding on to the little bit of space in your mind that we get. So when you donate $20 to the Malcolm X Festival, we send you $50 worth of content. Yeah, that's right. And as time goes on, the content is gonna get better and better and better. Right? So family, I want to thank you for taking the time to chill with Gye-Nyame Journey. But I got one more thing before we get off of this folktale. Now, in here they have application. This is, like I said, this side is dope. So let's go and look and see what they say. The application. This fable shows us how vain and ill-grounded the expectation of those people are who imagine they can obtain whatever they want by importuning heaven with their prayers. For it is so agreeable to the nature of the divine being to be better pleased with virtuous actions and honest industry than idle prayers. Stop with the idle prayers, family. Get out there and do some work. That it is a sort of blasphemy to say otherwise. These were the sentiments of honest good heathens who were strangers to all revealed religions. But it is not strange that they should embrace and propagate such a notion, since it is no other than the dictate of common reason. What is both strange in itself and surprising how it could be made so fashionable is that most of those whose reason should be enlightened by revelation are very apt to be guilty of this stupidity, and by praying often for the comforts of life to neglect that business which is the proper means of procuring them. How such mistaken devotion came to prevail, one cannot imagine unless from one of these two motives, either that people by such a veil of hypocrisy would pass themselves upon mankind for better than they really are, or, I hope y'all listen, or, where we at? Lost my place. Either that people by such a vile hypocrisy will pass themselves upon mankind for better than they really are, or influenced by unskilled preachers, which is sometimes indeed too often the case, to mind the world as little as possible, even to the neglect of their necessary calling. No question, but it is a great sin for a man to fail in his trade or occupation by running often to prayers. It is being a demonstration in itself, though the scriptures have never said it, that we please God most when we are doing the most good. And how can we do more good than by a sober, honest industry to provide for those of their own household and to endeavor to have to give to them that needeth? I'm going to stop right there. You read the rest. This is Brother Tim. Well, thank you for joining us on the journey, and I am out.